Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sao Carlos. With me, Waddy here, Farming Simulator 22. It is a new morning, it is November, week 4. And as you can see, I'm doing some spraying, ladies and gents. I have decided to take the contract, the fertilising contract, on field 20. For our good friend, Mr. Leroy Wilson, who's offering me 72 grand to do this job. Providing I did it with my own equipment and didn't borrow his. So that is what I'm doing. I've got my sprayer, we've got the little tractor, and we're out here fertilising. Now I'm doing the headland first, because obviously it's nice to have a bit of room, turn around and work and stuff. And also it gives me a chance to see if we've got any of that glitchy nonsense going on that we had at the beginning of the series when I first did fertilising on this field and we ended up with stripes everywhere. Because obviously if I'm fertilising this field I only want to drive over it once and I don't want to use and buy more fertiliser than I need to. So I'm going to do the headland. I'm going to check to see if there's any stripy nonsense going on, and if there's stripy nonsense going on, we're probably going to work the field east to west like I'm doing now, rather than north to south, which I think is the direction where we get the stripy nonsense. And as I was just saying to the people watching on the stream, if there are any mod authors or map authors out there who just happen to be dropping by and watching this video, if you know how to fix it in Giant's Editor so that the fertiliser and stuff works in all directions, on all terrain angles and directions on a map, please let me know. So I'd love to go into this map and fix it, because I appreciate that the original map author has long since abandoned this map and has never done an update for it since it first released on the mod hub. So I imagine this map is quite conflicting with the game currently. Since all the updates and stuff that Giants have done. So if there's any way that I could fix that myself with a bit of knowledge and input from more experienced modders and stuff, please let me know. I would appreciate it. Because like I say, I don't want to scrap the series and have to start again and find a new map to play like I have done in the past when I've encountered broken maps. I would much rather keep playing, because we're quite a few episodes in now. And I know we're only in November, but, you know, we've been making good progress, and I want to just keep going now. I'm enjoying this map. Apart from the glitchy, stripy nonsense, because I do like the fact that it looks and feels completely different from all the other maps that I've played so far in FS22. You know, I've played American maps, I've played UK maps, I've played European maps. This one, different colour palette, different textures. Offers a different feel. So, I would definitely like to keep playing this map for a lot longer. But we do need to iron out some of these glitches. If we can. I suspect when I come to this screen here, and I go over to fertiliser, yes, see? There's the stripy nonsense from working north to south, which is the problem we had at the beginning of the series. So we're not going to be working north to south then. We are going to be working east to west like we are now. So what I can actually do is I can let a worker take over for a minute. Because I do need to go and sort out my seeder. Which was doing seeding. But does look as though it's crashed into a tree. He's done a George of the Jungle, ladies and gents. I just hired a worker briefly whilst I was going over and doing that little bit of fertilising. Because I did say in the last video I wasn't going to really be using workers for these types of jobs because they're very, very expensive. But I'm also conscious of the fact that we've only got today and tomorrow left in this month, and we kind of need to get some jobs done to earn some money. So maybe now is the time to hire some workers for the last 2 days of the month, just so I can get some work done. The good thing is I haven't had to come and fill the seeder yet. We've done pretty much the whole of this field so far with what I started with, so that's good. Seems like we don't use a lot of seed for soybeans, which is a massive positive compared to obviously how much seed we used when we was doing the cotton for that other contract. So again, a job like this will probably make us a nice bit of profit if we're not having to buy loads of materials. Because we've already got it. Right. There we go. Time to do this, bro. Hopefully gets the worker back on track then. Or basically, I leave the fertilizer sprayer running until it runs out, in which point the worker will hopefully stop. I can go and dismiss them. Let this guy take over. Although I am thinking to myself, if I'm going to use, if I do decide to use a worker then on this job, I might need to do the headland in a minute. Because then he'll definitely, if the headland is done, he'll definitely avoid driving into those trees over there, which seems to be the problem at the minute. He wants to drive into those trees. So perhaps what I should do... is prepare myself for the possibility that we're going to use a worker to finish this seeding job, so I can actually go and focus on the fertilising job. Because I must admit, having done a lot of seeding in the last video, I'd rather be fertiliser spraying today in this episode, and I'm sure you guys watching this video would love me to be fertiliser spreading instead of also spending this video seeding. And to be honest, when that fertiliser contract is going to make me 72 grand, I think we would all appreciate if I was spending my time doing that fertilising contract. Because if we fail that fertiliser contract, I don't want to have to pay the fine on a 72 grand contract. We might need to have a whip round in the chat for donations. All the kick viewers will have to donate for the fine. And don't think you YouTube viewers are going to get away scot-free either. Oh, no, 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 no. You think just because you're watching on YouTube, you're okay. No, 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 no. You can contribute to the fine as well, YouTube viewers. Because what you can do to contribute is watch a few more of my videos with your ad blockers turned off. So I can make a bit of revenue. Okay? Is that fair? I don't want the kick community to feel like they're footing the bill for everything. You know? Doesn't matter what platform you're on watching this, you're all part of the same community. Okay? You're all part of mine. So you're all equally as responsible when things go wrong. But touch wood, I think we'll be alright. I think we'll be okay. Because we do have 2 days, and like I say, once we get going with the fertilising, it should go fairly smoothly and steadily, I would think. I mean, obviously, I could have borrowed a nice spreader from our friend, the farmer, Leroy. I think his name is Leroy. But he was going to then deduct 18 grand from the fee if I used his equipment. And to be honest, right now, I would rather have that 18 grand in my pocket than in his. So I decided to use my own little tractor and sprayer. Do the fertilising. Now that could come back to bite me in the arse. Quite possibly, yes. But we'll wait and see. Oh, we got 90 round here. See, I think a second headland would be good, because then that would basically remove most of this bit that I haven't done. So I might do, once we get back round, we'll do a second headland, because then that'll also create a bit more space for the, and also convince a worker that he's reached the end of the field before he's reached the end of the field. And then he doesn't need to drive into any trees. Or he shouldn't drive into any trees. Bearing in mind that I'm only using the normal in-game helpers for this job. I am not going to set up a courseplay course at this point because I've already done most of the field. I'm trying to get courseplay to fill in. Might be kind of difficult. Not impossible, but it's too warm for me today to be doing a lot of thinking. You know, my brain's already pretty much melted and dribbled out my ears, so the less I can use it, the better. Otherwise, you will actually see steam going out of me. Mr. Cheesy P's just done his released his DLC, Hay and Forage DLC thing on YouTube. Bad luck, Mr. Sealy P, because I already did a first look at the Hay and Forage pack on Friday. You're about 4 days late, Mr. Sealy P. That's right, folks, if you didn't know, I did an early preview of the new DLC last Friday, because I am an amazing Giants partner. And they sent me early access to the content. And I got to do a lovely stream here on Kick on Friday, showing everybody the DLC live in the game and in action. And then obviously I did the video for the YouTube people later that evening, which I couldn't have done if I was still on Twitch, because Twitch won't let me upload VODs for 7 days now as part of my new affiliate agreement since they changed all the rules. So I'm glad I'm not on that platform anymore. Or don't stream on that platform anymore. Because it's important to get the content out there and get those clicks first on YouTube, because that's where the money is. I know Mr. CDP has way more subscribers than me, and way more viewers, so he will make plenty of money, even though he's about a week late uploading the content. But it's nice to know that I was first. I can say first, for once, in the farming simulator world. I'd also like to say I was the first farming simulator streamer here on Kick, but I don't actually know if that's the case, because I've only been on Kick since March. But, you know, in my own little world, I would say I was, probably, because there certainly isn't many farming simulator streamers here on Kick. Which is why I like it, because it's nice and quiet. It's like not having neighbours, you know. Not having my own little millionaire's playground. You know? Nice. Nice to see Lucy still here lurking in the chat. I thought you'd snuck off, Lucy, and just left me on my own when Barker had gone. You're doing your setup. Cool. Still listening. Still listening while working. So it's probably important then for me to keep talking rather than using sign language on the stream. If I start just communicating in sign language, that's probably not going to help Lucy a great deal. Or many of the other people viewing this. But I must admit, one thing I am thinking of doing in the not too distant future, based on recent events that have happened here on Kick and in the content creation world, I am thinking of maybe doing a 24-hour stream soon. And again, based on what I was talking to my Kick audience about earlier, a little while ago in my stream, with my health and everything, based on the outcome of my hospital appointments on this week and my hospital trip, based on that outcome on Friday evening, I will make a decision whether I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream in the future or not. More will be explained in future videos for you YouTube people, if I have a future. And depending on who you talk to in my immediate surroundings, I might not. But yeah, I might be very interested in looking at and doing a 24-hour stream. Based purely on the fact that this weekend just gone, I actually sat and watched one of my fellow streamers do a 24-hour stream. And the fact that I sat there and watched the whole 24 hours without doing any playing or anything of my own convinces me that I could probably do a 24-hour stream. Seeing as I had no issues at all with being tired or sleepy or anything like that. In fact, I actually seem to do a lot better than the streamer. I actually seem to cope with the 24 hours better than the person who was streaming. And I was like constantly having to tell them at one point to wake up. So I'm hoping, like I say, I can do that. Obviously, if I decide to do a 24-hour stream, or I'm going to do a 24-hour stream, I will make it known and I will advertise it well in advance, so hopefully more people can be part of it. And you can come and watch me suffer for 24 hours live. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun thing to do. Obviously, I need to work out when is a good time for me to do it, especially as I co-inhabit this house with other people, and obviously if I'm streaming through the evening, through the night, it might interrupt them if they're trying to sleep and stuff. So I need to try and figure out a day when it's going to work well for them, or find a time when I can hopefully not trouble all of them. I mean, one member of the household does work 5 nights of the week, so maybe I ought to pick an evening when they're at work, and then I've only got one person that I can potentially cause a problem to by talking and getting excited all evening long. But we'll see. The other advantage I would have to doing a 24-hour stream is that it might actually enable me to get all the content I want to do at some point done. Because there's so many things I want to play at the minute, and so many things I want to kind of do, but there's just not enough time in a normal day and during the course of normal streaming and recording hours to do everything. And you know, and it's impossible to please everybody. Like right now, obviously I'm doing farm sim, and that pleases the farm sim people. But then the other people that want to see me do other things don't like it when I do farm sim. And then at the same time, when I do other things, the people that like farm sim don't like it. Can you imagine farming sim for 24 hours? See, farming sim for 24 hours would be a problem, Lucy. Because obviously farm sim is a very chilled out, relaxing game, and it honestly gets to the point where you can fall asleep playing this. You can. It has been known to happen in the past. And in actual fact, one time on I was doing multiplayer servering, Mr. Helgi fell asleep during a multiplayer session whilst harvesting, and basically ended up, because he'd got his harvester on cruise control, his harvester literally like drove the full distance of the map that we was playing on at the time. And just did like a full strip of crop destruction across the whole map. And it was there, and the great thing about that was, because he did crop destruction, it was there for the whole, it was there for like days and weeks after, because obviously we needed the crops to grow, you know, until we'd harvested the crops and ploughed the fields, the evidence was there. So obviously I gave him plenty of stick and reminders about the time he fell asleep with cruise control on in the middle of a multiplayer session. And I don't know whether I should still be offended about that, because obviously we have Discord and we have voice chat. So he fell asleep whilst I was talking to him. What does that say? I'm sure he'll never live it down. Oh no, we've got to keep reminding him. Every time you get the opportunity, please remind him. Somebody actually did pop into my Discord at the weekend and asked me about multiplayer farming and whether I would whether I have any plans to start up a new server at all in the future. And I was talking to them and like, yeah, if you're going to play and you're interested, then yeah, I would definitely set up a multiplayer server again. The only reason why I stopped the multiplayer server a month ago was because there was nobody playing on it. And obviously, to rent and host a server, it's quite expensive if nobody's using it. I said, if people are guaranteed that they're going to play, then yeah, I'll definitely set one up and I play on the server. And obviously I stream the multiplayer session, so you get to be part of the whole thing. It's really good. And then I noticed, I think it might have been this morning actually, I noticed that the person that was asking me all about the multiplayer has left the Discord. So I'm like, oh, couldn't have been that interested then. Couldn't have been that excited then. Because I said I wouldn't do it to, like, literally, I wasn't going to set up a server at the weekend. And I did say that, obviously, I was going to be, I mean, one of the things I need to do is find a map. I would need to find a good map to use as the multiplayer map. And I know at the minute Stevie, my good friend and mod author, mod maker here on PC, is working on a new map currently called Tranquil Waters. And maybe when that releases in a couple of weeks' time, that might be a great map, once I've had a chance to have a look at it, that might make for a good multiplayer server, because Stevie makes great maps, as anybody who watches my Ringwoods save on a Wednesday will know. Stevie makes really good maps. But yeah, if it's just going to end up being me and Mr. Helgi again, as I explained to Mr. Helgi a week or so ago when he was asking me about Farm Sim multiplayer, it makes no sense if it's just going to be me and Mr. Helgi playing. It makes no sense for me to go and rent and host a server with like G-Portal or Nitrado or whatever. Because if it's just the two of us playing, it's a waste of money. I might as well just set up a save on my PC and do a local and host it myself. Host the multiplayer myself whilst we're playing. Obviously, that means the server won't be available 24/7 whenever Mr. Helgi wants to play. He will only be able to play when I'm playing. But it would make more sense if there's just going to be the two of us. But obviously, as I've said on my Discord, and as I've said on stream, and as I've said in videos, if more people want to get involved in the multiplayer side of things with me and with everybody, I'm more than happy to go and rent a server again and set up a server that's available 24/7. I just don't want to get left, you know. Or more to the point, I don't want to just get used by the people that only say they're going to play because they want to download all the cool mods in one handy mod folder and one handy download, which is what happens a lot of the time. You get a lot of drive-by mod downloading because I put all the mods that are on the server in a Google Drive folder and make available so people can download the mods and make sure they're all running the same versions and there's no problems. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm coming to play, I'm going to play, can I have the link to the mods? They download the mods and then they never ever actually join the game. They just basically are stealing the mods. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm also a little bit worried. About opening things up. But, you know, we have had people in the past, like I say, there used to be, on a couple of the maps we've played in multiplayer in the past, we've had, you know, people playing and, you know, it's been fun. obviously, based on the last multiplayer server that me and Mr. Helgi played on Maypole, we won't be doing the separate farms multiplayer again. Any multiplayer servers that I do in the future will be just one farm and everybody works together, because that's more cooperative, and I think that makes for a better multiplayer experience. Certainly from doing the Maypole map, it did seem like me and Mr. Helgi were kind of just like, you know, in single player. We never really we had no interactions with each other, so it wasn't really multiplayer at the end of the day. It kind of defeated the purpose and point. Well, I mean, the thing is, Lucy, I mean, normally, Mr. Helgi's been very good at donating, and he's normally paid for like half the rental cost, which is absolutely fantastic of Mr. Helgi. He's always like sent me a PayPal thing for like half the server cost, the rental, and you know, every couple of months he would send, you know, because I'd normally rent the server for 3 months at a time, because you got a bit of a discount doing it that way anyway. And every 3 months he'd just send me a donation. Here's my half of the server, or whatever. And you know, that's great. But you know, I don't expect players to have to pay for the server, or you know, I don't want to charge people. Never ever want that. You know, I would sooner people just come and play. I'd just be happy for people to come and play, you know, and have a laugh and have some fun, and you know, get involved. Because that's really how I got started in Farm Sim. I used to play with other streamers. I used to play on their servers, and then as time went on and they kind of fell away, I kind of ended up taking over, sort of thing. I learnt a lot from them about server hosting and server running and stuff. You know, kind of got to learn how to play multiplayer from being on their servers, and then graduated to having my own. I mean, my original plan when I first, you know, so you know, must be what three, I think it must be 3 or 4 years ago now, when I hosted and ran my first farming simulator server. My plan was originally that I was going to host the server myself, build it all on myself, and have it run on a laptop, rather than use a hosting company. But then, like, I came to turn the laptop on one day to start building the server, and the laptop didn't turn on. And I took it to the shop where I bought it, who sent it away for repair, sent it back to the manufacturer for repair, and a week later I got a call from the shop saying the manufacturer can't repair the laptop because they don't have parts anymore. They don't have parts available anymore. So I was like, oh great. So my laptop went in the bin, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to use a hosting company now, aren't I? Because I don't have another machine that I can host a server on. Most people that are regulars to the channel won't mind helping out. I mean, I appreciate that, Lucy. And obviously, plenty of YouTube people out there who watch the series. and watch the videos. You know, I appreciate obviously your help and support, but I don't expect anybody to contribute unless they really want to. You know, and, you know, they can't help themselves. They get the urge and they can't fight it, and they can't, you know, be, you know, negotiated out of it. Then by all means, I won't say, you know, I won't say no. And I will be obviously very thankful and very appreciative, but, you know, it's never something I expect or ask for. You know, I don't come on here and bleed poverty and want to be a charity case. And that goes even more so with obviously everything at the minute, and potentially, you know, with what happens this week. You know, if things don't go great and I don't get the news we want from the doctors on Friday, that will still be the case. I do not plead charity. Okay? I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. There's far more people out there that are worse off than me. I lost that button a while ago. Lucy's lost the button. Oh no. Right, we are. How are we doing? Oh, our flipping cedars flipping crashed into trees again. Despite me doing headlands, the cedar has crashed. And he's only 87% complete. Right, Mr. Cedar. You're just going to have to wait, Mr. Cedar. Sorry. I will finish the seeding off myself, but I will finish the seeding off later. I am going to concentrate right now on this fertilising, because this fertilising job pays a lot more. And it's more important for me to get this done. So I am going to do this for now. I'm also aware that at 37 minutes of video recording, we have reached the end of the YouTube video for today, ladies and gentlemen. So, my lovely, wonderful YouTube audience, thank you for watching today's video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you all next week for some more Sao Carlos action. And obviously, for the people on Kick, we're going to carry on and hang out for a few more minutes, hours. I don't know. We'll see how we go. So, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, bye for now.